On the fourth day of our trip, the weather was clear, and at sunrise a beautiful light fell on the snow, so I went out alone to take pictures. The main reason of changing camp and choosing this specific camp, that does not have more than 5 small cottages, apart from the fact that I wanted to have variety in our camps, was that this camp belonged to a Sami family. The Sami people, who are native to northern Sweden, Finland and Norway, work mainly in forestry and reindeer farming, and this camp is set up on a reindeer farm, so one can easily and closely visit the reindeer and even walk among them and feed them. Wild reindeer have disappeared from Sweden and Finland due to excessive hunting and poaching by the middle of 19th century. In the late 19th century, a series of measures were taken to protect them, and since 1915, they have been fully protected. Today, they are largely cared for by the Sami people, who control their migration to the mountains with snowmobiles and helicopters. Their expenses and income come from the sales of reindeer meat, skin, horns and bones. After feeding the reindeer, we left this camp. The next activity was to visit the Sami open-air museum, where one could get acquainted with the traditional way of life of the Sami people. After that, we moved on and went towards the next camp in a Sami village in the mountains. The new place was about 80 kilometers away from our previous camp, but considering the road's winter conditions and the risk of meeting road-crossing reindeer and elks, we had to drive slowly. This is the end of the road. This is the outpost, the last bastion of civilization before the vast, untamed wilderness of the mountains. There are about 20 families living in this village. Some of the people are retired, and some of them are working in this camp. The rest of them are engaged in forestry and reindeer farming. This village and the adjacent lake is completely surrounded by mountains. Currently, the lake is completely frozen, and like the mountains around it, is covered with snow. And these reindeer are strolling around on it. The sky was clear that night too, and although the solar activity did not seem to be that much that day, I wanted to try to go aurora hunting and see the Aurora Borealis again if possible. The weather there, which is usually the coldest place in Sweden, was too cold that night, and my companions did not leave their cabins at all. So I went out alone again. The sky was not that exciting, so I waited out there in the dark about 1 hour. The extreme cold made tears flow down my face, but I couldn't dry them as they instantly froze my eyelashes to icy daggers. So my sight was not the best, and my hands were almost numb despite the double pair of gloves, and I struggled fixing the camera on the tripod as the legs and the ball head had become stiff, and I desperately tried to hold the camera and the tripod by hand without fixing it. I thought I should try another lens. Guess if it was a mistake. My dumb fingers slipped as I attempted to change the lens, and with the sickening thud, it plummeted into the icy ground. That efficiently put an end to my aurora hunting attempt that night. Of course, that night's photography wasn't any success. In the morning at the reception they said that the previous night the temperature had been about -25 degrees Celsius. No wonder I didn't function well. But just one night before that the temperature had been -31 degrees Celsius. But the record for that month had been -37 degrees Celsius. Luckily we were not there those nights. Huge thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. And for more content like this, please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Until the next video, have a fantastic time everyone.